Hello, good morning, everyone. Um, I hope you're all well on this another fantastically sunny day, which I'm going to be spending, I have been spending, answering emails, the backlog of emails I always get when I've been traveling for a few days out in the garden. My dogs are loving sitting there in the sun, so I'll be sitting out with them. Um, so much to update on today. What an incredible few days. Of course, we'll start with the election results, and I've been going through these. There are a lot of them, and it would take me, for the sake of time, this morning. I won't go through all of it in detail, but I will send an email to everyone with this, with the full results. And I'll put it up on the website as well. But I won't go through everything at the moment because there's a lot to get through. But I will make a few highlights or point out a few highlights. Just a bit of background, though. We went into this. I was nervous about going into this, actually, and I was nervous about at the start when it was suggested, when it was discussed. I was nervous about getting embarrassed. Basically, I didn't want to embarrass the candidates. I didn't want to deflate the members. And going in with about 3 or 4 weeks preparation, where we didn't have, in the end, it turned out we didn't have the party emblem on the ballot paper. We essentially missed the start of the postal vote. And a lot of these delays, of course, are caused by toing and froing with the Electoral Commission. So we went into this with a real uphill struggle ahead of us. And I was pessimistic at the start. And as it went on, I saw the enthusiasm and the hard work of the candidates. And as I've said so many times, people who come to a party like ForBritain come out of passion. They're not careerists and they really want to do what's best. And I became more optimistic. But I was still very pleasantly surprised by some of the results that came in, given the background and given the disadvantage that we had. So a couple of highlights in Hartlepool, Karen King. She came in last out of 4, but she came within 9 votes of the Conservative candidate, which I think for our first time out is a really positive thing and something for us to focus on and get excited about. Sunderland, Andrew Cox, he got more votes than the Liberal Democrat candidate. Going into the Midlands, into Sandwell, Darrell Mager, he came out with more than the Green candidate, significantly more than the Green candidate, and more than an independent that was standing, beaten only by the big two, Labour and the Conservatives. Staying in Sandwell, Sam Harding, 4 candidates there. The big two, Labour and Conservative, dominated, of course, but of the small two, it was us and UKIP, and we came out with more votes than UKIP there. Really, really positive development. Sandwell, again, Steve Latham did really well, getting 10%. Let me see. I could go down in Yateley. Sue Perkins did a fantastic job, and she came in significantly ahead as well of the Green candidate, and only 16 votes behind the Labour candidate. I will post all of these. Oh, one more. Sam Melia in Leeds. He came in just 2 points, or 2 points ahead of the Liberal Democrat, or 2 votes ahead of the Liberal Democrat Party there. This is really significant to me. This is really significant to me. This was our first time out. We stood just over a dozen candidates. It was a dip a toe in the water, get ourselves known, get ourselves advertised, and we did that as well. Thousands of leaflets went out, and we did really, really well. We got more votes than long-established parties like the Greens and like the Liberal Democrats. And regardless of which of the big two dominates in that particular area, someone once said to me that there are 2 elections going on, one between the big two and one between the smaller parties. And I think that's very interesting. And I think of the smaller parties, to beat sometimes significantly in the case of the Greens, to get more votes than that is a testament to hard work, work and the hard work that everyone's put in. And I once again have to give my sincere thanks to everyone. It takes so much courage to put yourself forward and to stand up like this. And I'm so pleased for the candidates and for everyone who put in so much hard work that we had such great results on our first night out. So thank you to everyone. I will, as I say, post that on the website as soon as I'm finished here. Other things to talk about that happened over the last few days. Antwerp. I went to Antwerp on Saturday. A beautiful city, actually, really beautiful city. Never been there before, but beautiful weather. People came together, packed house, people of all ages, people from all over Europe, there to talk to a Belgian senator and to hear from a Belgian senator. And I took part in a panel discussion there. Who is the founder of an organization, Anke van der Meers. She is the founder of Women Against Islamization. She has written several books and spoken out at length about the Islamization of Europe. And she's an elected senator, imagine that. So fantastic day, made loads of contacts there. We'll follow up with loads of contacts there, including writing and speaking and interviewing opportunities. Sunday, of course, you'll all know of the big Day for Freedom march in London. And I meant what I said, that it was a privilege to be there. It was a long, hot day, and I'd only just got off the Eurostar from Belgium. But the adrenaline just keeps you going. The crowd really keeps you going. And it was an incredible day, and it was an absolute privilege to be part of it. I'm going to respond to a couple of comments I've had, and I've had these comments repeated since Saturday, and I think it's only fair that I respond to them as they're perfectly legitimate. And one of them is that my speech on Saturday was too short. And the other one was that I didn't plug or mention ForBritain in the speech. So let me start with the too short one. I actually, if you look over videos of me doing outdoor event speeches, I have a personal policy of keeping them short. And I'm not the only, I know other speakers who do the same, and for the same reasons, is that usually the audience at these events, especially if there's a lot of speakers, the audience at these events have traveled a long way and have usually been standing around for some hours, or will be standing around for some hours in either bad or good weather. And it's a personal thing, and I like to, at these events, be short and sweet and try and make a point. And out of respect for not keeping people standing around for too long, I've always made short speeches at outdoor events. On the not mentioning ForBritain, this is a bit of a difficult judgment call for me to make at an event like Sunday. The party was being promoted, I can assure you of that. There were thousands of leaflets handed out in London that day. Our flags were flying high, we had banners, the party was being promoted, but from the speaker's stage. And some people might not have liked it if I had plugged the party. So it's difficult to know which way to go, so I can only sort of rely on my own judgment on it. I felt, there were people there on speaking there on Sunday who have very different opinions on very different things. And I thought the point of us coming together that day was to defend each other's right to speak and to defend everyone's right to speak. And I felt that putting aside any differences on the day was important, and we were there to speak about freedom of speech and to defend freedom of speech. And I felt party politics should be put aside from my speech on this occasion as well. But as I say, the party was promoted. We did do a lot of promotion in the audience. I think Anish told me he got rid of 1,000 leaflets by himself. So thank you, as always, to everyone for doing that. And we were speaking to people and drumming up support. Okay, what time are we on? 9 minutes. Okay, I'm in Ashford this evening. I know it's not ideal, the way that we're organising these meetings and only giving out venue details on the day. It's not ideal, but it is working. We haven't had a venue cancellation since we started doing it this way. What we're doing is inviting members by postcode. We're telling people the date and asking them to put it in the diary. Inviting members by postcode and asking them to bring someone along. This is quite an effective way we can grow membership, and I've got several, I think I've got about 8 or 9 dates in the diary over the next 2 months for meetings like that. It's not ideal, like I say, but it's working. I think, let's see how things go, and maybe we can start changing things again, making things a bit lighter. We did have an event in Sandwell, which was publicly advertised, and there was no response from Antifa there. So maybe we can start making them a little bit more public again and see how we get on. But so far, this is the only way that has worked, and we're able to hold our meetings, and that's all that matters. So, but if you don't receive details, or you haven't received an invite from us in the last couple of weeks, and you do want to come along, do send an email to the inquiries at ForBritain.uk. And we'll add you to the list of people to get the venue details this afternoon. Okay, I'm going back out to continue my emails in the sun, although it does make me feel a bit lazy, I have to say. If you're in Ashford this evening, I'll see you there. If not, I'm not around tomorrow. I've got a few interviews, including one with Alt News Media tomorrow evening, which I'll, of course, post on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday at 11 o'clock. So enjoy the sunny weather if you can. And I'll see you back here on Thursday. Take care.
We will make America great again.